share out of the book of Deuteronomy. I'm going to read from chapter 15, and I'm going to read verses 7 through 11 this morning. If there is a poor man with you, one of your brothers, in any of your towns in your land, which the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not harden your heart, nor close your hand from the poor brother, but you shall freely open your hand to him, and shall generously lend him sufficient for his need in whatever he lacks. Beware that there is no base thought in your heart, saying, the seventh year, the year of remission, is near, and your eye is hostile toward your poor brother, and you give him nothing. And he may cry out to the Lord against you, and it will be a sin in you. You shall give generously to give to him, and your heart shall not be grieved when you give to him, because for this thing the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in all your undertakings. For the poor will never cease to be in the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall freely open your hand to your brother, to your needy and poor in your land. Okay, so whenever we think of the poor, we think of just monetary thing. But I submit that there's many ways to be poor. You can be poor money-wise. You can be poor in spirit. There's just a whole lot of different ways that you can be poor in. And yes, our main thing that we like to focus on is money and food and clothing, the necessities. And Moses is letting the people know that God expects us to take care of one another. Now, you might not have extra money to give, but you might have clothes that you no longer wear. Instead of throwing them away, give them to somebody who needs them, who can use them, who will actually appreciate them. Because they may not have the means to get themselves clothes. The same thing with food. If you've got plenty of food, give to somebody who doesn't have any or can't get any. Of course, it goes without saying money. You can do that too. But in whatever you give to help someone less fortunate to you, make sure you're not doing it because you feel obligated to do, or don't do it begrudgingly. Because you're not going to get anything in return from that person for whatever you're giving them. That's not how we're to be. When we give something to somebody who is less fortunate to us, we are to be generously giving to them. Be happy about giving to them, because God does promise us that when we do this without a begrudging heart, He will bless us in the things that we have, or in the things that we touch. In our relationships with people, or in whatever we undertake, God will bless us for our generosity. He provides for our basic needs. He always does. The only thing that gets in the way of that is ourselves, and our pride, and our stubbornness, and our doubt in our unbelief. You know, when you're giving to somebody less fortunate to you, you're showing the love of God that's within you outwardly to that person. Because we're all the same. We're all flesh. We're all blood. No one's any different than the other. We are all God's creatures. The only thing that makes us all different is our hearts and our intentions with our hearts when we give to somebody less fortunate, or in the way we react and deal with each other. So, and we all know that no matter where you go, there is always going to be people who are less fortunate, who are poor, and can't provide for the basic needs to survive on. But let's just not stop there. You know, if you see somebody who doesn't have a friend, nobody wants to have anything to do with them, we ought to go befriend them. You know, we don't know what's the situation they're going on. Now, granted, if there's somebody who is against God and against Christ, and is obviously not going to accept the friendship, or is going to drag you down to their level, then yes, we can still pray for them, but you don't need to associate with them anymore. Because if their heart is so hard that they have no intention of reciprocating the love of God that you're sharing, then that's somebody that, you know, we need to not hang around, but we still need to pray for them. But anyways, I'm starting to get off track, so I want to leave it at that. I love you guys. You have a blessed day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.